say we're aware of what our strengths are, and now we know that it's worth, trying to focus those strengths in our current circumstance, be it a job or whatever, or school or whatever you wanna, whatever you're doing. How do we first identify what those strengths are? And
absolutely,
or even confirm what we think our strengths are, because sometimes because sometimes we could be totally wrong.
So there's I guess there's two different ways you can do this. I suppose the most thorough the way to do it with a small cost investment would be to invest in using one of the online strengths tools. I'm a big fan of Strengths Profile. That's the tool I use and I'm accredited in, but it's not the only one, and I'm not here to be the Strengths Profile salesperson. There is also a similar tool called Strengths Scope. There's another one by Gallup that looks at, I've forgotten the name of their tool, but there's a number of different ones. So lots of different strengths profile tools are available that you can go online, pay a small fee, and you can do a questionnaire. And in about 20 minutes, you get a whizzy report that comes out. And they're really clever as well. You get them out and you're like, oh my goodness, that's me. How did they know? Obviously they know because you just answered the questions. But it's, so that is a great way to get a really up-to-date, accurate sort of, I guess, snapshot of where you are in your life right now, how you're feeling right now, and it takes you through your strengths. So I would say if you have a bit of budget to invest, it's not a lot of money actually. It's about, so in UK terms it's about £40 sterling. So I guess I'm not very good at my conversion rate, but that, so
60
it's not,
maybe.
There you go. But 60, 70. But it's it's a good investment in my opinion. However, if you're not in the position to do that, it's not the priority right now, you can still identify your strengths by doing an exercise and using a few questions. And I've brought that with me if you'd like me to share it, just so people can do it on themselves. So what you have to do is I would recommend you kind of get some quiet space, get a kind of notebook out, however you like to, either on your computer or like if you like to write. I'm like, get my big paper out and brainstorm. But I've got 5 questions that you can reflect on, and the answers will definitely help to draw out some of your key strengths. So the first question to think about is, when has time flown by? So think back to when the day's just gone in a flash, and you've kind of the time's flown by. Think back about what you were doing, and sort of brainstorm that. Write that all down. The second question is to think back about times that you finished a day buzzing and energized. So a little bit like I described that day of facilitation, where you'd kind of find me sort of happy and flushed, and sort of enjoying what I'm doing. So have a think back to to times that you have had a real day where you sort of feel on fire, you're energized, you're buzzing, you're kind of upbeat. And again, think back at what you're actually doing and brainstorm, sort of write down all those things. Another question, the third one, is to think about what your friends tell you that you're good at. And people probably will do this already, but if they don't, it's okay. Go and ask your friends. Just go and sort of sample a few of your sort of people you trust, people that care about you, and maybe people from different walks of life. So it might be kind of your oldest friend, but maybe also your friend from work, a friend you studied with or whatever. But just ask a sample of your friends, when they think about you, what are the things that you're great at? And again, brainstorm those down. And fourth question, similar actually, along the same lines, what do people come to you for? So what, there'll always be things where, I go to one of my friends for cakes. I go to another of my friends for like a really honest opinion. But we all have friends we go to for different things because we know that they kind of get it or they're good at that particular thing. So have a think about when you get those kind of texts, people going, can I just pick your brains on something? Or can you help me? Can you have a look at my CV for me? Or whatever it is for you. Note down on your brainstorm, what do people come to you for? And then final question 5, when are you at your happiest? And that can be at work, especially if you're trying to find these strengths in relation to your sort of professional life. But actually, I think it's really useful to also think about your life, because our strengths, it's not like you have a work life and a home life in the strengths world. It's, it's actually all very interchangeable, and we can play on our strengths all the time. So think about when you're happy at home and in life, and again, brainstorm it down. And with all of these, what I would suggest is, as well as just sort of saying, I was happy when I was, running a meeting, think in a bit more detail and say, well, what was it? What was it about that? Was it, well, I was on my feet and I was in front of an audience. I was in control of the flip chart pen, whatever it was that you kind of think, well, what were the things that I loved about it? And you're really delving into the detail, and then look back at those 5 brainstormed answers. And what I think you'll probably find is some key themes that come out of there. So your friends are probably going to be coming to you for the things that you're great at and that energize you, because they'll see you at your best when you're doing them, and they'll kind of come and draw on your input. So try that, and what you'll find is you'll get there absolutely some of your energizing strengths, and that's a great way to sort of reflect on it as a starting point.